When Liverpool decided to bring Hugo Ekitike to Anfield, the football world took notice. The French striker had just torched the Bundesliga with 22 goals for Eintracht Frankfurt, earning himself a spot in the team of the season. But beyond the headlines and highlight reels, there are fascinating stories about this lanky forward that very few people know. Today, we're diving deep into the untold stories of Hugo Ekitike. Number 10. Messi's nickname for him. During his brief stint at Paris Saint-Germain, Ekitike trained alongside football royalty. We're talking about Lionel Messi, Kylian Mbappe and Neymar. While most 20-year-olds would have been completely starstruck, Ekitike managed to earn the respect of the greatest player many have ever seen. According to reports from France back in 2022, Messi took a particular liking to the young Frenchman and even gave him a rather memorable nickname, the Iron Rod. The answer lies in Ekitike's distinctive frame. Standing at 6'3" but with a remarkably lean, wiry build, the young striker cuts an unusual figure on the pitch. Those explosive bursts of acceleration combined with his slender physique caught Messi's attention during training sessions. The Argentine legend acted as a mentor figure for Ekitike, offering guidance as the teenager navigated life at one of Europe's most demanding clubs. Number 9. His idols. Speaking of those superstars at PSG, Ekitike wasn't just training with them, he was actively studying their games. Growing up, Ekitike named Neymar and Karim Benzema as his two main idols. He's spoken at length about how Benzema's hold-up play shaped his understanding of what a modern striker should be, but it was during his time at PSG that Ekitike's education truly accelerated, learning to absorb specific elements from each legendary player. From Messi, he focused on vision, learning to see plays develop before they happen. From Neymar, he picked up ball control and those silky touches that leave defenders grasping at air. And from Mbappe, those devastating off-the-ball movements that turn half chances into tap-ins. Ekitike has openly admitted he studies these players obsessively, analyzing positioning, movement patterns, and decision-making. Number 8. He could have played for Cameroon. Here's something that might surprise you about Ekitike's background. While he was born and raised in Reims, France, his father is Cameroonian and his mother is French, which means Ekitike holds dual eligibility to represent either nation. The Cameroonian Football Federation expressed significant interest in bringing him into their fold. However, Ekitike has made his allegiance clear, representing France at all levels. He's spoken about his pride in both heritages while showing deep gratitude to France for his development, stating plainly that playing for the French senior national team is his goal. Number 7. His super secret girlfriend. Let's talk about his personal life, because this is where things get interesting. Ekitike is notoriously private, someone who's gone on record saying he likes to be famous but unknown. However, reports emerged in the summer of 2025 linking him romantically to Dani Meneses, a Miami-based model and real estate advisor. Journalists pieced together their relationship after comparing Instagram photos and discovering the pair had vacationed together in Morocco while Ekitike was still playing for Frankfurt. While Ekitike himself has never publicly confirmed the relationship, the circumstantial evidence has been enough for media outlets to run with the story. It's a fascinating contrast, this intensely private footballer linked to someone who lives a very public, social media-driven life. Number 6. His trouble with cars. Here's a story that could have landed Ekitike in serious trouble. Back in September 2025, shortly after his big money move to Liverpool, the striker posted a video to Snapchat showing himself filming behind the wheel of his £200,000 Mercedes G-Wagon, displaying the orange and black dashboard as he drove. He even flipped the camera around twice to show his face. The problem? In the United Kingdom, it's illegal to hold or use a mobile phone while driving. Violating this law can result in 6 points on your license and a £200 fine. The video sparked immediate backlash, with media outlets pointing out that his teammate Mohamed Salah had been reported to police for a similar offence back in 2018. It served as an early reminder to the young Frenchman that life in the Premier League spotlight comes with scrutiny of everything you do. Number 5. He was almost released at 14. Let's take you back to when Ekitike was just 14 years old, because this is where his story could have ended before it ever really began. While at the Rams Academy, Ekitike was, by his own admission, absolutely terrible. He's described himself as a sleeping player, someone who had all the natural talent in the world but spent training sessions daydreaming. The coaches called a meeting with his parents and delivered a stark ultimatum. If things didn't change by the end of the season, Ekitike would be released from the academy. He's spoken about this moment with brutal honesty, admitting he vowed right then that he wouldn't let the opportunity slip away. When he returned to training, he was a completely different player. Focused, determined, hungry. That turning point at 14 transformed him from a talented daydreamer into someone with the mentality to succeed at the highest level. Number 4. His hidden talents. Hugo Ekitike has a hidden talent that very few people know about. He can draw. Not just doodles in a notebook, we're talking about proper sketching, with people, scenes and life as his subjects. He's described it as something that's always been easy for him, a natural escape from the pressures of professional football. Drawing gives him a creative outlet, something completely different from the structured world of training sessions and tactical analysis, finding the process both relaxing and fulfilling. It's fascinating to think about this alternative timeline where Ekitike is standing in front of an easel in Paris rather than scoring goals at Anfield. But it's not just drawing that occupies Ekitike's downtime. He's also quite the fashion enthusiast, known for his creative and bold clothing choices. If you've seen photos of him off the pitch, you'll notice he's not someone who plays it safe with his wardrobe. He experiments with different styles, often sporting designer pieces and unique combinations that turn heads. This creative expression extends to his constantly evolving hairstyles as well. He's become something of a style icon among young footballers, someone who understands that fashion is another form of self-expression. Number 3. He almost signed for Newcastle. Let's address something that many Liverpool fans probably don't know. Ekitike could have been wearing a Newcastle United shirt right now. The Magpies tried to sign him 3 separate times. The saga began in January 2022 when Newcastle, still fighting relegation, made their first approach. Ekitike turned them down. They tried again in summer 2022 with a £25 million bid that Reims accepted. Ekitike rejected them again, choosing Paris Saint-Germain instead. Fast forward to summer 2025, and Newcastle came back with a club record £69 million bid to Frankfurt. Once again, Ekitike said no, this time because Liverpool had entered the chat. When asked about his decision, Ekitike was diplomatic but clear. He explained that PSG's offer represented the logical next step, the biggest club in France with the best players in the world. When Liverpool came calling in 2025, his reasoning focused on the club's status as reigning Premier League champions and Arne Slot's vision for how he'd fit into the team. Number 2. He's somewhat ambidextrous. Here's a quirky fact. Hugo Ekitike is left-handed, but primarily a right-footed player. It's an unusual combination that doesn't get talked about much. Most people assume your dominant hand correlates with your dominant foot, but Ekitike breaks that mold entirely. He writes, draws and handles most daily tasks with his left hand, yet on the pitch, his right foot is his weapon of choice. It's one of those small details that makes you appreciate just how unique every player's development path really is. Number 1. His favourite movies. Now let's talk about his taste in cinema. When asked about his favourite movies, he named 2, Whiplash and The Wolf of Wall Street. Think about those choices for a moment. Whiplash, the intense psychological drama about a young drummer pushed to his absolute limits by a ruthless instructor, is all about the cost of greatness and the sacrifice required to be the best. Then there's The Wolf of Wall Street, chronicling Jordan Belfort's meteoric rise and spectacular fall, a film about hunger and someone who refuses to accept mediocrity. What do these films tell us about Ekitike? They suggest someone fascinated by the pursuit of excellence, by characters who push boundaries and refuse to settle. For a young footballer who was almost released at 14 for daydreaming, who then completely transformed his mentality, these films probably resonate on a deeply personal level. Or maybe we're just overthinking it and he simply enjoys them like any normal person. And here's our bonus fact to end on. Hugo Ekitike's surname is a palindrome. That means it's spelled exactly the same forwards and backwards. When Liverpool officially announced his signing, the club noted that Ekitike became only the 5th player in their entire history to have a palindromic surname. The others? Andrew Hanna, Liverpool's first ever captain from 1892 to 1895, his relative David Hanna from 1894 to 1897, Turkish defender Ozan Kabak, and English winger Shei Ojo. It's a delightfully random piece of trivia. So, there you have it. 10 things you probably didn't know about Hugo Ekitike. This is a player who's had to fight for everything, who's learned from the very best, and who's finally found his stage at one of the world's biggest clubs. The next time you see that lanky figure stretching defenses at Anfield, remember the journey that got him there, and the fact that his name reads the same no matter which direction you're coming from. That last part is fitting really, because whether you're watching him run at defenders or drop deep to link play, Hugo Ekitike is equally dangerous from every angle. Did you know any of these facts? Let us know in the comments. Remember to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe to the channel. Also be sure to turn on post notifications so that you never miss out on any new videos. See you next time. Bye.
Goal 90 Shop, your one-stop solution for all your World Cup needs. Goal 90 Shop, your one-stop solution for all your World Cup needs.